Hi there, this is Allison from the National Weather Service in Wakefield, and I'm back with the Whether You Want to Know or Not series on winter weather. Today I will be taking you through how to check your forecast. Let's get started. So first we're going to go through the basics. This is the homepage for our office. You can access this at weather.gov/AKQ. Now, this page alone isn't going to give you a lot of detail, unless of course you live next to the Richmond International Airport. So let's find out how to find the forecast for your neck of the woods. Your first option is up here in this box. You can just type in your city and state, or you can put in your zip code and hit go. Your second option is here on this map. It's a point and click map, so if you know where you live, you can just click on that spot and it'll take you to your forecast. Your third option is to go into the web address bar and type in weather.gov/ your zip code. So for example, weather.gov/ 23608, or whatever your zip code happens to be. That's going to take you to a page that looks like this. And in this banner, you'll see some icons and some information about your forecast for the next few days. Chance of precip, an idea of how sunny it's going to be, temperatures, stuff like that. Below that is your detailed forecast. So that's going to have a little bit more detail, as the name suggests, such as wind direction and speed. A little bit about timing of rains. For example, here it says a chance of showers mainly after 11 p.m. Also some information about amounts. So less than 1/10 of an inch possible of rain. And it is important to note that we're only going to have a lot of details for the next 48 hours or so, and then you can tell here after that it becomes a lot more lean, and that's because the forecast is more uncertain farther out than 48 hours. So that's the real basics. This might be everything you need, but let's just say this isn't enough information. You want to know more detail about timing, so we can find that. You can access that. So down here at the bottom, there's this link for hourly weather forecast. Click on that, and it will take you to a page that looks like this. Here at the top, you can select what elements you're interested in. So for this example, I'm going to leave these 4 precip types checked because I do want to see them. You can also select your time period. It's going to default to just the next 48 hours, but you can go forward 2 days, and you can get a look forward in the future a little bit too. So you'll just want to pay attention to the time period. And then down here you'll see the different precip types. So you've got rain, snow, freezing rain, sleet, and you can see that we don't have a chance. When I took this screen capture, we didn't have a chance of snow or freezing rain or sleet, just rain. So looking at the rain, you can see where for this particular location at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. there's a slight chance of precip. And then at 10 p.m. it goes up to a chance, and it stays that way through the night. And you can also see amounts. So there it says 200ths of an inch versus 700ths of an inch. And that's broken up into 6-hour blocks. All right. Next, I want to talk about our probabilistic forecast products. So go back to our homepage, weather.gov/AKQ. And scroll down just a little bit, and you will find a bunch of nice, lovely icons here. Conveniently, we have one for winter weather. So go ahead and click on that. It's going to take you to a page that looks something like this. Up here at the top, we have a bunch of tabs, and the one that we are currently on is highlighted in this nice green color. So this first graphic that you will see is our event total snowfall. It is how much snow we are expecting. This is the forecast that we are putting out based on model data, previous climatological knowledge, and collaborating with our neighboring offices. This is what we think has the best chance of occurring. However, we do have a lot of partners who make their decisions based on worst case scenarios. Partners such as VDOT, for example. They want to know the worst case scenario so we can be prepared for it. You might want to know this too. In that case, you are going to be looking at this high-end amount graphic. This graphic is showing an amount of snowfall that there is only a 1 in 10 chance, or a 10% chance, of there being higher snow amounts. So, for example, here in Louisa, there's a 10% chance of snow over 3 inches occurring. This is what we like to call the reasonable worst case scenario. You might also want to know the minimum amount of snow that we're expecting. Now, please note, this is not for our area, obviously. We probably won't ever see a minimum amount of 20 inches like Buffalo did in one of their lake effect events. But here's a look at what this looks like for their area. This is the minimum, this is a low end amount. So, for example, looking at Buffalo right here, it says 20 inches. There is a 90% chance of more than 20 inches occurring. We also have different amounts laid out and the percent chance of that amount occurring or more. So this graphic, for example, is showing 4 inches or more. So looking back at Buffalo here, there's a 100% chance that there will be 4 inches or more. We have a bunch of options for this. We've got options ranging from a 1/10 of an inch all the way up to 18 inches. We have a bunch of other products available to you on that page and in the different tabs. For example, there's the ice accumulation forecast. It's very similar to what we were just looking at, except in ice amounts instead of snow. We also have the 6-hour snowfall ice and accumulation forecast. It is showing just a similar thing, but within a 6-hour time period. We also have onset and end timing graphics, so this gives you a really good idea of when we expect the precip or the snow to begin and when we expect it to end. There's also a couple of products from the Weather Prediction Center, WPC. There's the Winter Storm Outlook. That's kind of similar to what the Storm Prediction Center puts out with their severe weather outlook, but this is for winter storms. And the Winter Storm Severity Index. And then finally, when we have an event going on and we're collecting observations, those can be found at the Snow and Ice Observations tab. So now I want to talk about long-term forecasts. Before, I mentioned that you're only going to get a lot of detail within 48 hours, but if you want to look at days 3 through 7, you're going to want to look at this long-term forecast product. So same winter weather icon page, but in this tab over here, the day 3 through 7, here in the lime green. What we're looking at is the winter storm threat. This example is day 4 to be specific. This product is based on a combination of confidence and potential impacts. So if we're not expecting any snow, all of this will be green. But in the example that we're looking at here, we had medium level of confidence and the potential impacts were on a medium scale. So gives you this nice orange color. Everywhere here is orange, and we have it broken up into sections so you can get a little bit of detail. It's not just for the entire region, it's for these sections. So this gives you a good idea of what's coming in the future and what you can start preparing for now. And finally, we do have some bonus content for the fellow weather nerds. Each of our forecasters at the end of their shift writes up a discussion that justifies their forecast scientifically. Now, disclaimer, this does have a lot of meteorological and scientific terms sometimes. We don't generally write this for the general person out there who may or may not have a ton of background knowledge in the subject. But this is a really good resource for getting a little bit more detail about what we're thinking, what we're basing things off of, how much confidence we have. You can find this is back on your neighborhood forecast page. You can find this down at the bottom where it says forecast discussion, and that'll take you to the forecast discussion. Alrighty, thank you for joining me. We are going to take a break for the holidays. We will see you back on January 5th for a video about different types of snow, dry versus wet. What snow can you build a snowman with versus what's just going to blow away. Yeah. All right. See you then. Thanks.